Hey Jordan, how you doing? All right, so everything's making good sense here. Um, okay, let's see. You know what? Let's go ahead and yeah, everything makes good sense here. Thank you so much for this written description of your experience while developing your logo. So let's go ahead and jump right over to the logo and let's see what we have here. So the logo itself, I think I'm not crazy about the 3D effect, okay, for two reasons. Number one, the 3D effect is this one, it seems like the light source would be over here as we see this kind of shadow area. Actually, it would be like somewhere right down here. And then this one, the shadow area is being cast from this side. So you almost have differing light sources based on the configuration of these. And that creates I think, a tremendous amount of ambiguity, visual tension, uncomfortable visual tension. I don't recommend this kind of 3D thing, and the reason being is because this logo at some point, it's going to have to be presented as one color or black and white. So that said, it's not, you're not going to get the dimensional effects that you're getting here. It's just going to be a really thick stroke. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't recommend a 3D effect. I think that using the initials, oops, sorry about that. I think using the initials JT is great, but I wouldn't incorporate the rest of your name with those enlarged initials. And the reason being is because when you scale this down and make it really small, you're not going to be able to read it. Those are so tiny. I mean, we can barely read it here as it is. So what I would recommend doing is establishing your monogram, which is the initials, right? JT. Then configure your name somehow in the composition. Jordan Thomas Graphic Design. Or I wouldn't use plural for design. For designs, I would say design. If you want to use graphic design, that's great. I think it's more effective. But if you want to stick with just design, that's fine too. I don't recommend incorporating this background because basically what you're doing is you're reducing the versatility of the logo by creating this big square in the background. Think about placement, right? Why take up this much space with your logo when you only really have to take up this much space? Okay, so my recommendation here is to continue working on a logo, develop your monogram, which is the initials, okay, and then incorporate the rest of your name, your whole name, Jordan Thomas Design, with JT Jordan Thomas Design. Now configure it however you think might be most appropriate. The monogram can be on top of Jordan Thomas. You could have monogram, then Jordan Thomas, then design down here, smaller font, or you could have the monogram here, Jordan Thomas, and then design right over here. So just think about how you want to configure it. But again, take those recommendations. Let me know if you have any questions. I definitely recommend removing that background. And keep in mind that at some point in time, the logo is going to have to be presented as black and white or one color. So you want to design accordingly therein, right? The typeface for ORDANHOMS for the rest of your name, I think it's somewhat illegible. And let's zoom in here. Let's see. Yeah, that's really difficult to read, especially with that oversized. So I continue looking for typefaces that might be a little bit more legible. Okay, so those are my recommendations moving forward, and I encourage you to keep on working on your logo. And I've mentioned to all students is if you find yourself working on your logo into weeks 2 and weeks 3, that's fine. Just remember that you'll have to replace the placeholder logo from your resume and some of the other collateral pieces if it takes you a couple weeks to complete your logo design. Now, speaking of that, as you work on your logo design, if you want to run it by me, have at it. Go right ahead. I'll be glad to provide additional clarification. I'll be glad to provide additional critique. Oh, I just noticed something else. I don't recommend the drop shadow either. That's a raster effect, and it won't scale well. So I don't recommend that. So as I was saying, if you want to keep on working on this and submit it next week, just go to the general questions area. Post it wherever you think I'll see it, but don't email me because I think it would benefit the rest of the class to be able to see the critique and your new work, okay? All right, so if you have any questions at all, Jordan, please let me know. I'll be glad to make any clarifications needed. And again, if you want to continue working on it, just let me know. I'll be glad to provide additional and further critique. All right, great start. Thank you very much.